What's up, buddy? How you doing? Hope you're having a good day. You're probably having a better day than the people in this story. Now, I like to lead with a question, and here's a question for you. Do you like the Pokemon cards? I must admit, thankfully, I broke my Pokemon addiction years ago. But as a kid, God, you don't even understand. I was so addicted to Pokemon cards. I always tell this story that in elementary school, as part of the DARE program, try to keep kids off drugs, doesn't work. At the end of the DARE program, when we completed it, the class, they told us, you're all going to Fenway Park in Boston, okay? We're going to get on a bus. We're going to go watch a baseball game. We're going to get you a hot dog and a soda. And I said, what day is it? They said, well, we're going to go on it's going to be a Saturday. I said, no can do. That's Pokemon Day. And they're like, you're going to go play in a Pokemon card tournament instead of going with all your classmates to watch a baseball game? And I'm like, I like Pokemon better than baseball. Looking back, kind of an antisocial thing to do. But I did love Pokemon. I'll say this, though. I don't think I loved Pokemon enough that I would want to try to rob a GameStop, as the individual in this story did. And I also don't care about Pokemon enough that I would then try to defend the GameStop from robbery using lethal force. That's what we're going to talk about here today, along with Mud, my cat, who decided to show up. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button down there. And I know some of you listen to my podcast, and you're like, Vito, you've stolen magic cards. Okay, from a Target. I stole a couple packs just on a whim. I was like, oh, these are kind of expensive. Here I am admitting to shoplifting. Well, here's what happened. Here's why I'm not going to shoplift anymore. And I've stopped shoplifting. This was a while ago. I've realized it's not worth it. Okay. Florida GameStop employee fatally shoots a fleeing shoplifter stealing Pokemon cards. See, I've learned my lesson. Don't shoplift. It's so easy when you go through the Target checkout, right? It's like, just don't scan one thing. It's the free item discount at Target. I don't do it anymore. It's not worth it, especially after this story where a man was shot and killed at a GameStop. Now, I have to say this real quick. I worked at a GameStop, and here's the weird thing about GameStop. The people who work there are weirdly loyal to GameStop. Any other retail job, okay, if you're working at Walmart, if you're working at Target, if you're working at the grocery store, you don't really, if a guy's shoplifting, you might be like, hey, don't do that, or yell at him or something, or maybe try to get him to put the stuff back. But it's also like, well, I don't own this store. I'm not going to put myself in harm's way. The thing about GameStop is it's hard to get a job there because every nerd wants a job there. I worked at GameStop, and it was hard to get a job there. And then once you get it, in order to keep it, you really have to be loyal to the store. And I wanted to keep my GameStop job because at the time, I think I got like a 30% employee discount on used games. So all my money went back to the store. It's not healthy. So all these GameStop managers are psychopaths because they worked real hard to get this job, which doesn't pay that good. But for some reason, they're fiercely loyal to the corporate environment to the point where they want to put themselves in harm's way or put other people in harm's way to stop a shoplifter. Let's get the basic story. A GameStop clerk has been charged with manslaughter. 33 years old, Derek Guerrero was working at the store in Fort Lauderdale when a man grabbed 5 boxes of the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Ultra Premium trading cards, ran for the door. The cards retail for $120 a box. Okay, so 5 boxes at $120 a box, that's $600. Don't shoot a guy over... First of all, don't shoot a guy. Second of all, don't shoot a guy over $600. And lastly, definitely don't shoot a guy over $600 in Pokemon cards, because then you sound like a moron, okay? I can understand, is it weird that I think that way? That, if a guy robs the till, it's like, that's money. I can use that to buy goods and services. Pokemon cards, what are you going to do with those? I mean, you might get lucky and hit an ultra rare and sell it on eBay, but ultimately, don't kill a guy because of Pokemon cards. Now, here's the problem. Guerrero pulled a handgun from his waistband and fired 1 shot. This is why I always tell people, really examine yourself before you buy a gun. Really think about it, okay? Now, I do have a handgun, but I keep it in a lock safe. I don't talk about it because I don't want to use it, okay? I really don't. The only reason I would use it if somebody came into my house and I was scared, I'd be like, oh my God, and then pull it out of the box. Okay, I'm not going to carry it on my person. I don't think that's necessary. Maybe if I'm going somewhere I consider dangerous. But, what do you want to say? the problem is people buy a gun and they keep it on themselves and they're really itchy to use it. It's crazy. It should be the last thing in your mind. The only reason you reach for that gun is, oh my God, this guy's about to kill me. If the guy's running for the door, you go, yeah, okay, I'm fine. This is only for my safety. This is only for my protection. So many Americans buy guns and they just immediately are like, oh my God, that guy dinged my car. Time to pull out my gun. That guy looked at me funny. Time to pull out my gun. Fires one shot, hits the man in the side. Shoplifter dropped the cards. I got the cards back. Ran outside to a waiting pickup truck. Ooh, a two-man job where a woman called police. He died 3 hours later in the hospital. Wow, one shot, a kill. That's rare considering the guy got away. I don't know. Well, I don't know. He probably just bled out. Unfortunately for this guy, police say store security cameras show the shoplifter neither threatened Guerrero nor displayed any weapons. Under Florida's stand your ground law, you can use deadly force if there's a threat of death or great bodily harm, but you can't use it to protect property. Manslaughter is a killing that is unplanned and in the heat of the moment. We have a little bit. Now, this is just footage from outside the GameStop after it happened. I don't know how exciting that is, but we can see that it is closed for today. Closed because I killed a man is what the sign should say. Now, is that him explaining shut up, stop talking to the cops, say I need a lawyer. I need a lawyer. I am not talking to you. Guys, I hope you know this. If you do something wrong, even if you don't do something wrong, okay? And the cops are like, hey, can we talk to you? Go, I don't talk to cops without a lawyer. Especially when you've just possibly murdered a guy. Look, he's telling the cops everything. Oh my God, what an idiot. They're going, hey, what happened exactly? Well, he stole Pokemon cards, so I had to kill him. Oh, okay. Did he threaten you? Did he come at you? Well, no, and of course my store has security cameras, so I can't even lie to you and say that he did. Here's why you shut up, right? Here's why you shut up, is your lawyer could then argue. If you don't say anything to the cops, you go, listen, you guys sort it out, I don't want to talk about it. That way your lawyer later can argue, on the way out the door, you're not going to hear it in the tape, but that man said, I'm going to go grab a gun, and I'm coming back to kill you. And that's why I reacted in this violent way. Instead, he gave a statement to the police where he probably said, oh, he stole Pokemon cards, so I had to murder him. Not good. You're going to get in trouble. Here's a little update to this story. GameStop manager accused fatally shooting Pokemon shoplifter leaves jail. Again, will you talk to your friggin' lawyer? I'm extremely sorry. You know what that means? That's guilt. That's admitting guilt. If you say I'm sorry, that typically means you feel you've done something wrong. And the opposing lawyer, whatever lawyer is trying to put you in jail, is going to go, well, Your Honor, the man said he's sorry. Why would he say he's sorry unless he knew he did something wrong by killing this man? $25,000 bond, okay, to get out on manslaughter. I want to say sorry, says the former U.S. Marine Sergeant, who is married and a father. Very sorry to the family. They went to the home of the dead man. It's found the grandfather. Grandfather had nothing to say. No, that was Coates, the man who's dead. Let's see. So the alleged shoplifter did not have a weapon. He did shoot him in the upper body, so maybe hit some vital organ there. Again, Guerrero says, it's all I have to say. I am sorry about that. And I think, did nobody have a story about the man who was killed? I think the guy who was killed may have had a record. I think that another story said that this GameStop had been robbed before, that this manager had been robbed at some point, and at that point he said, I'm going to start carrying and bringing my gun to work. I don't even think GameStop managers, I'm pretty sure they have a policy that says, please don't bring a gun to work. We don't want a gun here. Your employer does not want you shooting people. They really don't, because it's very possible that now GameStop has to deal with a lawsuit. Okay, the guy got killed on GameStop property by a GameStop manager. You're going to face a wrongful death lawsuit. GameStop's going to be responsible because they didn't train this guy to not bring a gun. They hired a weirdo with, who was unstable, and they should have known that it could lead to damages. That's why your employer doesn't want you to have a gun. They don't want you to stop shoplifters. They really don't. They would much rather lose $600 in Pokemon cards than deal with a $100,000 wrongful death lawsuit. I get it. It sucks. I always say this, if you see a shoplifter getting in a car running away, try to slash their tires. Doesn't hurt them, not going to kill them. Okay, and then what are they going to do if you slash their tires? They're not going to get away. But don't shoot them. And there's so many videos. I'm not going to bring them up because they're violent. Okay, but I've seen so many videos of people shooting a shoplifter, and you go, bro, you don't own the GameStop. Let them leave. It does not affect your life in any meaningful way. Here, okay, one last lesson. Here's what always happens. For some reason, and this is typical among the male human animal, people really want to be respected. People hate the idea of being disrespected. Someone comes in your store, steals Pokemon cards right in front of you. You feel disrespected. This is how 90% of these shootings happen. The guy goes, well, he disrespected me. And the only way to retrieve my respect was to show him I'm a big man and to shoot him in the face. Here's the biggest lesson I can give you guys, if you're young guys out there. Okay, you know, you're navigating life. You're trying to figure out how to leave it. Don't worry about if anyone else respects you. It does not matter. There's so many people out there. A lot of them are not going to respect you. They might talk shit to you. They might come into your store and fuck with you. The best thing you can possibly do is go, I'm happy with myself. And what this person says to me, even if they treat me like shit, even if they steal something from me, yes, it's very upsetting and I don't like it. But at the end of the day, I respect myself. I can be upset. I can be angry with this person. Okay? At the end of the day, I'm not going to take drastic measures. You know? It's like people go into the McDonald's and they yell at the clerks and they're like, my fries are cold, blah, 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 blah. The best thing you have to do is go, okay, I'll get you some new fries because I don't care. I'm not going to meet your energy. I'm not going to get angry with you. I worked retail. I dealt with this. Okay? I dealt with people screaming at me. And you diffuse them instantly when you go, well, I just want to help you out. 90% of the time they go, okay, I'm acting like an idiot. This is a nice guy. I don't want to yell at him. Even if they don't worry about being disrespected because otherwise you end up killing a guy over Pokemon cards, guys. Sorry to rant so much, but these stories are crazy. We got a lot of stupid shootings in America. Okay, don't buy a gun if you don't know when to use it. If you don't know that you only use it in self-defense or for sport or whatever else, don't worry about people respecting you. Don't feel like you got to go out and prove yourself as a man by killing people. It's not necessary. Live your life. Be happy. Collect your GameStop paycheck. Go home. Buy yourself some Pokemon cards, baby. You deserve them. Of course, I get a phone call just as I'm finishing the video, just to interrupt the ending. I'll call that guy back. Guys, don't forget, subscribe to the channel, hit that button down there, and check out my comic book, Super Killer, at superkiller.org. If anyone tries to steal your copy of Super Killer, you do have my permission to kill them. Please don't do that. Bye-bye.